Hi guys, today we are going to get into a few arm exercises. So this one is a really good one to correct a bit of posture issues if you have any, or just really bring those shoulder blades back down where they're meant to be and work on the strength of your shoulders down through the arms. For these ones we are going to be sitting down. If that's uncomfortable for you, grab a chair, sit on a chair, or you can even stand up, as long as your spine is straight and hips are even. So we don't want both legs out one side because then you're a bit wonky. So we want to keep yourself nice and straight through the center. We're going to start relaxing those shoulders all the way down. Chest is up nice and tall, engaging that T-zone. You're sort of in a neutral spine here, so try not to be sitting back, try not to be sitting too far forward. Keep yourself nice and straight. Arms are going to come out in front. We're doing a little shrug. So shoulders are coming all the way up to your ears and then pressing back down as far as you can. So really stretching out the sides of your neck. Big shrug up and then all the way down. Nice and simple. Keep going with that. So we just want to feel those shoulder muscles. You might feel a little bit of a stretch on the way down. We're waking them up, getting them working, and pulling them back into the correct position. Go nice and slow, just feel those shoulder blades moving, so really try and pull back and together. Your arms might pull out slightly when you come back, that's fine. For this one, breathing, I just want you to be comfortable. A perfect breath is an exhale down, but with the arm exercises, usually your breathing ends up opposite just because of the natural way you breathe. But as long as you are breathing consistently and comfortably, I don't mind with this one. So just nice big inhales and exhales and keep yourself going. And especially as your arms get really sore, it's good to breathe. On the next one, I want you to hold those shoulder blades down as far as you can. So they're pulled down, stretching the sides of the neck. We're going to squeeze back now. So just your shoulder blades are pulling all the way back. Elbows stay nice and straight. Your arms will probably open a little bit and then reach out as far as you can. Stay pressed down, squeeze back, reach out. Squeeze back, reach out. Try and keep the spine and chest still, so we don't want to feel you moving a heap here. We want to try and keep everything nice and still, and my arms are getting sore already. So this one's working the natural weight of your arms, which is surprisingly heavy. And you know, if you've been to one of my classes before, I love challenging your arms. I love making those muscles really burn at the end of the class to make you forget about everything else. And it's also just really good for your posture. On your next one, I want you to keep that squeeze. So we're now dropped as far as we can, squeezed as much as possible. Now we're going to start moving the elbows. So we're doing a little row here. So keeping the elbows up nice and high, we're pulling them back to the sides as far as you can without letting the chest pop, T-zone still engaged, and then reaching back out without letting the shoulder blades move. So you're not going too far. Squeeze and reach. Squeeze and reach. So unlike the rest of our videos, we're doing sort of a few exercises today. This is sort of like a little mini series rather than just working one exercise. But it's all about getting the shoulder blades into the correct position and working them most effectively. So we want to keep that shoulder dropped, neck is nice and long. So we want to feel the sides of the neck reaching up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing. So as those arms start to get really heavy, breathe with it. For this one, perfect breath is an exhale as you pull back, inhale as you come forward. If we have any shoulder impingement issues, this position is uncomfortable, you can work a little bit lower, but just stay where you're comfortable. If it's too hard for you, particularly on one side, you can do this just on one arm if it's more comfortable. But never push those arms too far, and we don't want to be above the shoulder. So we're staying out of that impingement range, hopefully. Whew, arms are burning. Holding at the front here, so there's just a little soft bend in the shoulder blades are down and squeeze. There's your little circles. just a tiny little circle, just to get those arms really burning. Make sure that tummy's still engaged, spine is still nice and straight. So you don't want to feel your whole body doing a circle. You're going to keep everything else nice and still, and it's just the arms. Big deep breath. It doesn't matter which way your circles can go. You can change if you want to, feel it the other way. You can do one way, one the other way, if that makes you feel any better about this. But honestly, we just want your arms to burn, and we want that posture perfect the whole way through. So if you start feeling the sides of your neck really tense up, it means your shoulders are probably lifted a bit too high. So drop those shoulder blades back down, drop the chin, pull the chin back slightly. So big double chin, as always, is our aim. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Good work, guys. That's the first one. Now we're going to do it in our second position. So for these ones, we're going out at a sort of 45-degree angle. If you're sitting here, it's sort of over your knees. Same position, chest is up nice and high, T-zone's engaged, neutral spine or somewhere near it, making sure that you're not sitting back into your bum and tensing all these muscles along the front and overstretching your back. Big shrug and squeeze. That's your starting position. So whenever you lift your arms up to do an arm exercise, go with the shrug, go with the squeeze, and you should be somewhere near your perfect position for your shoulders to work. We're going to start with the rows. So you're pulling elbows back behind you, imagining that your elbows are touching behind your back. They're not going to, but that's just what you're aiming for. And then reaching back out nice and long. For this one, the elbows come down slightly, but if you want to work really hard, you can aim to keep the elbows a little bit higher. But I just find it more comfortable in this position for my shoulders to go down as I squeeze. I'm still feeling that working. I'm still feeling all of the arm getting nice and tired. Keep breathing for me. So it's the same two exercises. We're just going to change up the position as we go along to make it a little bit harder. So you should be able to feel it's a little bit harder to control your weight at this angle than it was here. Beautiful work. If you're really wanting to challenge yourself for whatever reason, you can grab a little set of dumbbells, make yourself work nice and hard. Holding out. Now we're going back into little circles. So shoulder blades are staying still, chest is nice and still. Just breathe through the circles. Again, you can go whichever way you're comfortable with or change. So when you get really tired and the arms get really sore, you don't want to lift them anymore, you can change directions to try and distract yourself. You want to try and stay up as long as you can, but your arms are going to get sore, and that acid buildup, that burn that you feel, is your muscles slowly pulling apart and breaking down so that they'll regrow and be nice and strong for the next time you do it. Well, that's the theory anyway. Arms are very sore now. Breathe, control. So as we get really, really tired, that's when your posture is going to start crumbling and going really bad. So keep that neck long, keep those shoulders down away from you, pull the chest nice and tall, squeeze those shoulder blades, make sure that spine is straight and that T-zone is engaged. So it's really important to have the T-zone here because it keeps you up nice and tall and nice and controlled. If you're sitting down here without T-zone, this is going to hurt a whole heap more and strain your back, which we don't need it to. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Take a little break. Our last one, we're going to do it out to the sides. So you're directly out to either side of your shoulder if you can. Again, if any impingement issues, this is uncomfortable, don't do it. Stay in your comfortable range so that we don't hurt yourself, because I don't want discomfort. Shoulders are down, chest is proud, shrug, squeeze, starting with the row here. So again, we're pulling back behind and then popping out, trying to stay in line with your shoulder. So we're not going any higher, trying not to go too low, but stay where you can work nice and hard. And it's just like a little pop to reach out, and we should be feeling those shoulders really burning now. Breathe. So for this one, perfect is an exhale as you extend, because that's the hardest part that you're working. But again, sometimes you'll naturally do the opposite. Your arms are sort of funny, as when they lift, you tend to inhale. It's just your body's natural sort of reaction. arms are getting very, very sore now, so I hope yours is starting to feel it a little bit. I obviously should have practiced these more during lockdown, but that's okay. We all needed a break. Holding out nice and long for me, and now we're just doing little circles. Again, chest is straight, shoulders are dropped. Now if you're doing this in front of a mirror or something, you'll probably notice that one shoulder's a little bit higher than the other. That's really, really common for pretty much everyone. For women, it tends to be the shoulder that you hold your handbag on. It tends to be a little bit higher because it's actually stronger on that side. The muscles are used to being tense and holding the weight of the bag. Or if you're like me and carry a baby around all day, then it might be that side that you're holding the baby on that's a little bit higher constantly. It's nothing to stress about. Just be aware of it, that shoulder might be lifted a little bit. You might have to work a little bit harder to pull it down, or it might tend to go pop up when it's not meant to. Change directions if you want to, if you haven't already. We're almost there. This is the last one. Keep breathing for me. 3, 2, 1, and you can relax. Beautiful work, guys. Oh, shake those shoulders out. You've done really, really well. So that is one of my most basic and favorite shoulder sequences, just because it really corrects your posture, makes you super aware of it, and it gets those shoulders and arms working nice and hard. So you will definitely run into it if you're coming along to classes, and if you're not, it's just a great one to practice on the regular to keep those shoulders really nice and pulled back. If you do get pain down through the shoulder and the back, these exercises are really helpful at actually getting rid of that, because usually it's the muscles are overstretched. So if you pull them back into the right position, usually that discomfort goes. And as I said, if you're like mum like me, constantly holding a baby on one side, your shoulders are probably sore. So build on the strength and get working on them. Last day tomorrow, we are going to be working another shoulder exercise, just in a different position, just so you get a taste of it before you come to classes. I will see you then. Great work, guys.